Joining me now in studio is Petro. He's here on a break from his work as the project director for the Jesuit Refugee Services Lebanon Migrant Center. All right, Michael, so you're originally from the Boston area.
Absolutely, proudly so.
All right.
Yeah.
So how did you end up working in Beirut and studying to become a priest?
Yeah, so the studying to become a priest part is a little more personal and longer term, but it starts in my parish at St. Tim's in Norwood, and then continues through my studies at St. Sebastian's School in Needham, where I got really just wonderful examples of what it means to be a priest, what it means to grow close to God, and yeah, those examples brought me, I think, into this desire to move forward in priesthood. I encountered Jesuits all over the place at Boston College, but then also at a lot of other sites around the world. My studies as an undergrad took me all over the world, and so wound up pursuing this path as a Jesuit. The Beirut thing was a little more random. I did not see that coming. Most of my training as a Jesuit has included work with migrants and refugees from around the world. I focus mostly on migrants and refugees from Central and South America. So I was speaking Spanish, working in Latino communities. I was doing Arabic as a hobby. It was a language thing. I love languages. And one day a very Jesuit thing happened to me where I walked into a meeting and was told that I was moving to Lebanon. So that's classically Jesuit. We're sent. Jesuits are men who are sent. And I walked into a meeting and I came out and was moving to a different continent. So
And how long ago was that?
that was about 3 years ago.
Okay, so you've been in Lebanon for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had Brother Michael Schopf on This
Wonderful.
Is the Day a few months ago.
My boss's boss's boss.
We'll put in a good word for you.
Thank you.
So he explained the mission of Jesuit Refugee Service. Can you just give us your words as well on that for people who might not have seen that interview?
Absolutely. So our mission is simple. It's to accompany, to serve, and to advocate with and on behalf of refugees and other forcibly displaced people all over the world. So that begins with accompaniment. The thing that I like about JRS, more so than other humanitarian organizations, is that our work begins from relationship. It begins from direct accompaniment of the people that we're serving, which means that we're there oftentimes before the problems start, and we stay after they end. And so all of our work is based out of a depth of relationship that enables us to really respond to the problems that people have as they emerge.
So in Beirut, Lebanon, you run a migrant center.
Yes.
Now, how are those people ending up there? Like, where are they typically coming from?
That is a very complicated reality. Usually when people think of migration in Lebanon, they either think of the Lebanese diaspora, which is folks who've left Lebanon over many years, many of whom live in the Boston area. There's a wonderful Lebanese and Lebanese Catholic community in the area here. Or they think of Syrian refugees, people who've come in over the course of the civil war in Syria, which is a very, very large number. I work with a different group, which is people who are largely from Africa and everywhere, Nigeria to Madagascar and everything in between, from South Asia, especially Sri Lanka, Pakistan and India, Bangladesh, and also from the Philippines. Most of those folks come as migrant workers. They are facing a very difficult situation at home, and that can be for all sorts of reasons depending on the country. And somehow they become aware of work in Lebanon. Unfortunately, oftentimes that relationship, or the way that happens, resembles situations of human trafficking, where people are not always aware of the jobs that are awaiting them. They're not aware of the legal rights or the conditions that they'll encounter when they get there. And so sometimes deception is involved. But that's not always true. Sometimes people are made aware of a job, they get there, and it's exactly what they're looking for. But basically, it's labor migration. There's a small number of people that we work with, especially from East Africa, from Sudan and South Sudan, who are refugees, who fled through whatever ways they could and wound up in Lebanon.
And so for these labor migrants, are there families that are broken up? Like, is it often the husband that goes in to get work? And
what's interesting about Lebanon is that because most of the migrant workers there are domestic workers, that is, they're working in homes, cleaning, cooking, taking care of families' children, mostly they're women, right? So most of the women in our center are mothers themselves, whose children are back home. Many of them are single moms, and so their sisters, their aunts, their grandmothers, their mothers are often taking care of their children. And so a lot of our accompaniment is helping people deal with the trauma of separation from their own children. The way that they take care of their children is by leaving, which is very hard. It's very hard.
It's heartbreaking. So I can't even imagine.
It's a heavy load.
Yeah, but there is some joy.
Absolutely.
At the Migrant Center. And so this is a place where the migrants can come during the day. It's kind of like a community center for them. They're not living there right now. Tell us about the Cricket League, because I find this very interesting.
Absolutely. So one of I think the most important things that we do as an organization, that's both at the Jesuits Church, which runs our Migrant Center, and JRS's Migrant Center in another neighborhood in Beirut, we create space for migrant communities to do what they want to do. A lot of NGOs want to run their own programs. We say, no, there's a ton of dynamic energy, a lot of creativity in the communities themselves, and there's not a lot of space. So we try to offer that space. One of my favorite things is the Cricket League that has showed up over the last few years at our parish, which is run entirely by leaders from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, and the Philippines. About 300 players right now, men's and women's leagues.
Wow.
They play every week. Most migrants have one day off a week if they have a day off. And so these folks come to our space every Sunday to spend the entire day there in a very serious league with very intense tournaments. As an American, I will admit, I still do not quite understand cricket, but that is one of the most joyful things I encounter on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and can you talk to how it's important, even in these really dire circumstances, to have leisure?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the thing that I'll say a few things. One is that it's a space for creation of relationships. Migrant work, especially domestic work, is very isolating. Right? People are often living in the homes of their employers. They're not connected to members of their own community. They're not speaking their language or eating their own food. Right? And so at a very basic level, the cricket pitch gives people a place to make friends and to build a community where they're able to feel at ease, right? To be in their own space. The second thing is that it's a way of expressing yourself on the pitch, right? It gives people a chance to get some exercise, which is really important for mental health, and to build communities that are able to bridge some of the ethnic or even religious divides. We have teams, two wonderful examples. One is an Indian Pakistani team, right? India and Pakistan, when they're playing cricket, don't generally get along, and those countries have had a difficult relationship with each other for many years. At our church, there are folks playing on the same team. And the same thing is true for other conflict zones. We have a Tamil Sinhala team. These are folks who brought themselves together across lines that were civil wars back home. So it's a real chance to build community in a place where it's often quite difficult to do so.
That's really beautiful. So tell us where people can learn more about JRS and where they can support that work that you're doing.
Absolutely. So my colleagues at JRS USA have a wonderful media presence, and our social media handles, JRS USA, are available on all major platforms. The work that I run, I think, is probably best found at the Arupe Migrant Center. That's ARRUPE, Arupe Migrant Center in Beirut, Lebanon. And so I would encourage folks to check it out.
Yeah, and we just had up on the screen for those who are watching, jrs.net/Lebanon too. So people can go there as well. Well, Michael, it was so great to chat with you, and I'm wishing you all the best in your next few years in formation as you become a priest.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure.
All right, thanks.